Hello and welcome to another edition of Thick Slices and Deep Cuts. Today we'll be focusing on my favorite record store in town. So that would be the Record Exchange in St. Louis City, basically St. Louis Hills. I've been going there now for probably close to a decade. I love going there. Every time I go there, I'm excited because I always come out of there with records that things I've been looking forward to and things I didn't even expect I'd be walking out of there with. So just wanted to give a shout out to the Record Exchange and just kind of go through some vinyl that I've purchased from them. So this is what I got this weekend. They're so affordable. I know some people that don't go there because they want their vinyl to be mint, new press, and I can understand that, but I just, I want so many albums, and the only way to get so many albums is to get them used and authentic and, on the cheap. And all these albums that you get there are, $6, $7, $8. So I can go down there and, like this weekend I bought 14 albums for about $100. So I thought that was a heck of a deal. And it allows you to buy some of the albums that, you don't know if you love them or not, but you want to check them out. You'd like to have them in your collection. Maybe it's from a band that you've got all of your favorite stuff from them on CD, digitally remastered or whatever, but there are a few odds and ends that you still need to get. So I guess we'll just start with what I bought this weekend. So the first one here, this is Emerson, Lake and Palmer doing Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition. So this is a live album from '71. It's cool. It's bizarre, but it's wild and very progressive. Early '70s prog rock done live. I got a couple from band Gentle Giant. I have what I call their best work is probably from the beginning through '75, so like '70 to '75. Well, I got the two albums after that. So Interview from '76 and The Missing Piece from '77. These generally get slightly lower ratings. I think this one's pretty good. I think it may get a lower rating because that cover is ridiculous with the rainbow. But I think it's a pretty decent album. This one's shorter songs, more concise. I don't know, I think people were expecting more prog. But Gentle Giant, so again, did not expect to get any Gentle Giant when I went down there. It seems like every time I go down there, I end up pulling out a Genesis album. So I've ripped on this album, Abacab from '81 by Genesis, for not being very progressive at all. But of course I saw it for $6, and the song Abacab, Keep It Dark, this Dodo / Lurker is pretty cool. And I'm just trying to complete the entire catalog, so this helps with that. These were classics. Steve Hackett, Voyage of the Acolyte, '75. It's got Mike Rutherford and Phil Collins on bass and drums to help him out, so it's total Genesis. Please Don't Touch, his second solo album from '78. It's got guest appearances from the guys from Kansas, Chester Thompson, a few other people, but this is what Steve Hackett did when he left Genesis. Very cool. And Spectral Mornings from '79, his third solo release. Plucked all those out of there. Jethro Tull, Benefit, 1970. I'm a big fan of this album. It's got one of my favorite songs from them, Teacher. It was not on the American version, but it's on the British version. Well, I must have the British print of this because I have it on here. So that's pretty nice. So Jethro Tull. What else? Oh, the unsung '70s album from Aerosmith, Night in the Ruts. For the longest time, I'd never heard this. All I had was Remember Walking in the Sand from their greatest hits. And it was like a cover of a '50s song, and I just thought, oh, that album must suck. Well, I've listened to it. It's great. Cheesecake, Chiquita, Mia, 3 Mile Smile. I like this album. I don't know why it gets any bad review. I think this is as solid album as any of the others. I know they were going through some turmoil at the time, but this is as good as, maybe it's not as good as Toys in the Attic or Rocks or Get Your Wings, but it's pretty close. So I'm glad I have it. And this is a good quality copy too. So I watch a lot of Sea of Tranquility, and Pete Pardo and his crew, they love Deep Purple, they love Uriah Heep, and he and Martin Popoff are raving about the song Shadows of Grief from Look at Yourself from 1971. It's got a mirror right there. So of course I got Uriah Heep. This is a beat up copy and I didn't pay much for it, but I just don't have really any Deep Purple in my catalog, so I went and got this really beat up used copy called Made in Japan from '72, I believe, with the classic lineup. You've got, Ritchie Blackmore, Ian Gillan, Ian Pace on drums, Roger Glover on bass, and John Lord on the keyboard. So I've got it now. I have Wired by Jeff Beck, but this is the album. This is my favorite album of his, and I don't know why it took me until this weekend to get it. But I got Blow by Blow from '75, I want to say. Awesome album. Jeff Beck's great. I don't listen to these guys a ton, but I do like them, and I have a few of their albums. But the Moody Blues, Days of Future Past from '67. It's got Nights in White Satin, Tuesday Afternoon. Everybody loves those songs. Tons of Mellotron. And then this was the last of, they had a 7-album run from '67 to '72 that was pretty stellar. And those are the albums I have for the most part. I think after today, I'm still missing 2 of them. But, I have not heard the 7th Sojourn, but this is the 7th in that run. And so I'm anxious to check this out again. The guys on Pete Pardo was raving about it, so I can't wait to check this out. Another good used copy for $6. $6. So that's what I bought yesterday, those 14 albums. And there were several that I put back and several that I couldn't find. They seem to be out of all things AC/DC and Kiss yesterday, and the Police and a few other bands I was looking for. But I went through my collection real quick and just found a few that I know. Actually, I didn't find a few. I found a lot that I know for sure I bought at the Record Exchange over the last 8 years or so. But I think when I was there earlier this year, I got Works by Emerson, Lake and Palmer from '77. That one. Not that I needed this, but anytime Yes has vinyl with Roger Dean artwork, I get it. So this is a compilation of songs I already have, but I'm just glad to get more Roger Dean artwork. So got that. Oh, this gem of an album that's playing in the background, Todd Rundgren's Utopia from '74. Just what a find! Last time I went there, just found this album for I think $8. Just incredible. Love that album. Oh yeah, arguably their best album, Rush, Permanent Waves, 1980. Incredible album. Jacob's Ladder, Natural Science. Everybody knows Spirit of Radio, Free Will, also Different Strings, Entre Nous. All this is a great album. I'm not a huge Beatles fan, but I respect the crap out of them. This is a good place to start. 67 to 70 greatest hits. I cannot believe I got a copy there used that's in this good a quality for under $15. So that was great. Again, I have this on CD, but Yes Songs, it folds out, it's triple vinyl. It's incredible. Yeah, had to get that. Best of Uriah Heep, they had, it was Record Day, so on Record Day in April, they actually have an all-weekend thing where they just put everything outside, and you just go through it. I think everything's like $2 or something. So these are the, there's no protective sleeve or anything, but you just go by and pick out as much as you can for I think $2 per album. So I got a lot of albums like that. I think this is the same way because it's a little beat up in the bottom corner, but Supertramp, Even in the Quietest Moments, yeah, for $2, why not? Why not take a chance on that? $9, nice double, gatefold, but Triumph, they're okay. Stages, it's like a really good live greatest hits. So this is perfect. If you can only own one album, I'd recommend getting Stages because it covers everything up through, it's got Allied Forces, Never Surrender, and Thunder 7, and all that stuff, and Lay It on the Line, and all those songs. Trying to get into this band, especially the 70s version, Styx, Equinox. It sounds pretty cool. Everybody loves Queen. I think most people like Queen a lot more than I do. They're a little too quirky for my taste, but they're not bad. This has some good stuff on it. It has Keep Yourself Alive from the first album on here, Killer Queen. The song Flash from Flash Gordon used to be my ringtone on one of my early phones. The Police, Ghost in the Machine. I love this album. Awesome album. I got that. Tubular Bells. This is the music in The Exorcist from Mike Oldfield. I wasn't sure. I have a few Nectar albums. I wasn't sure if I got the other ones at Record Exchange, but I know I got this one here because I could see the sticker on the back. So Down to Earth from '74. I dig Nectar. Cool band. Joni Mitchell. Hahira. I love this album. She's got Jaco Pastorius on fretless bass on this. This is just an awesome, like an atmospheric kind of album for her. There's not a whole lot of drums, but it's just really good and moody and awesome. So Joni Mitchell, awesome album. I got it there. You know, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Birds of Fire from '72. John McLaughlin. You know, what else need I say on that? I've bought quite a bit of Kiss there. So Dressed to Kill from '75, Destroyer from '76, you know, Alive 2, look at those guys in the back. My favorite of the solo albums from '78, Ace Frehley, $7. Oh, I remember when I found this gem, King Crimson Lizard from '70, great condition, gatefold. Kansas, you know, not my favorite album from them. It's their last album of the '70s, so this came out in '79. Monolith. This is about as far as I go with Kansas. Their first 5 albums are all classics. Then they did 2 for the Show in '78, which is an awesome double live album. That's great. But this came out in '79 after that, and suddenly the songs are shorter, and it seems like they're changing their sound, trying to get more radio play. But so that's as far as I hang with them until now, when they've got Ronnie Platt and all these new guys in the band. You probably can't see it, but Jethro Tull, Living in the Past. The very cool, you know, very cool double vinyl of like B-sides and things. Very cool. I showed this on the last thing on Genesis. There's another Record Exchange thing. Just, you know, I've never seen that cover, and anytime you get pictures of Peter Gabriel in costume, that's great. So this has Nursery Crime and Foxtrot on it, so must have. Al Di Meola, Tour de Force Live, excellent. Bill Bruford, this is cool, from what, 78, 77? 77. It's got Alan Holdsworth on guitar on it, very cool. You know, Blue Oyster Cult. This has Don't Fear the Reaper on it. A lot of people say this is not their best album at all, but I'm not a huge Blue Oyster Cult fan, but I kind of want to get into them a little bit more, so I started here. I've got another album of theirs in the back, too. You know, I got Black Sabbath, We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll on vinyl. This is just a cool thing. I have all these songs in all those first 6 CDs, but I never had We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll, so I got it on vinyl just to go, hey, I've got that too. And then the last one I have here, I think I showed one of their albums earlier, but Aerosmith, Get Your Wings, great album from '74. So that's just a few things from that I've purchased. A lot of this very recently, and a lot of this other stuff just over the last few years from the Record Exchange in St. Louis City. I love that place. You know, I know a lot of people like to go down to the Loop and Del Mar to do their vinyl shopping, or, you know, they've got their different spots, Euclid Records. But my place to go is always the Record Exchange. I just have fun. You walk in there, I swear it's like going into a time machine. It's like you went back to 1977 or something. They've got all this strange old technology, tons of reel-to-reel players and old turntables and, you know, 8-track machines. And they've got Blu-rays and DVDs, but they also have VHS and, you know, Laserdisc and all these old forms of technology. And I just love that dusty smell in there of the records, and it's just you feel like you go back in time to 1977 is the best way I can put it. I just absolutely love going to that place, and I usually try to make a day out of it. So it's the best way to explain where it is in South City and St. Louis Hills is just take to Hampton, where you get off at the zoo. But instead of going left, if you're coming from the west like I am, instead of going left over 40 to go to the zoo, you just keep going right south through Dogtown and past the hill until you get to Chippewa. But you keep going past Chippewa and get ready to make a left onto Eichelberger. So it's simply just take 40 to Hampton and go south until you get to Eichelberger, and you're there. What I usually like to do is stop at Antonino's on the hill, get some good Italian infused with a little bit of Greek, then head down. After that, get some get a bunch of vinyl records, and then I make a quick stop over to Ted Drew's there off Chippewa, and I usually just take Jameson up to 44 and come back home that way. So, but anyway, this podcast was simply just an excuse to to hype the Record Exchange, my favorite record store in the entire St. Louis metropolitan area, and especially in 2020 where it's hard to find any record stores, period. The fact that we still have a gem to this day is great. So anything I can do to help promote those guys, I definitely will. So, but okay, well, thanks for watching. I'm sure I'll be doing an album ranking. I guess I don't want to give the name of the band because I'm not sure if I'm going to do. I've got two bands I want to rank the albums of here shortly. But so thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Thanks.